Imagine being born with the ability to fly, superhuman strength, and invulnerability. You could leap over tall buildings in a single bound, outrun speeding bullets, and see through walls. Sounds amazing, right? A life of power, admiration, and limitless potential. But wait, what if that power came with a price? What if the very traits that make you Superman also made your life incredibly difficult? Being born as a Superman might sound like a dream come true, but in reality, it comes with an overwhelming burden. In this script, we're going to explore why it sucks to be born as a Superman. It's not all about capes and superpowers. It's about responsibility, loneliness, and facing constant, exhausting challenges. So let's dive into the trials and tribulations of life when you're more than human. First up, let's talk about the burden of protection. As a Superman, the world expects you to be its savior. No pressure, right? Whenever there's danger, whether it's a natural disaster or a supervillain wreaking havoc, guess who gets called? That's right, Superman. You're the first line of defense against every threat on Earth, and with that responsibility comes sleepless nights and constant vigilance. Now, you might think it would be easy to handle every disaster and stop every villain, but it's not. The world is full of dangers, and no matter how fast or strong you are, you can't be everywhere at once. Imagine the emotional toll of always being expected to be perfect. If you make a mistake, lives are on the line. You can't afford to slip up, but the reality is, no one can handle that level of pressure without it weighing them down. Next, let's talk about something a little more mundane: food. Yes, you heard me right. Even for a Superman, daily survival isn't as easy as flying around and saving the day. Sure, you're invulnerable, but you still need to eat. And when you're operating at a superhuman level, your metabolism burns through food at a crazy rate. So what does a Superman do when they're hungry? They can't exactly go to the nearest restaurant and order a meal. Imagine having to forage for food that can fuel your incredible strength. Where do you even find enough to sustain you? You can't just pop into a local grocery store and grab a snack. Superman-sized meals don't grow on trees. And if you're constantly on the move, searching for food to replenish your energy, it's exhausting. It's not just about saving the world, it's about managing your resources so you can continue to do so. You don't just need food to survive, you need it to keep up with the impossible expectations placed on you. Being born as a Superman doesn't just mean physical challenges, it also means a responsibility to be a guide. People look up to you, literally and figuratively. They want advice, guidance, and protection. As a Superman, you're not just an icon of strength, you're a symbol of hope. Everyone expects you to have all the answers, but the truth is, no one has all the answers. Not even Superman. You're expected to be a role model, to set an example, to inspire others to be better. But who do you turn to when you need guidance? Superman, despite his incredible abilities, is still a person with emotions, doubts, and fears. Yet he can't show vulnerability because that would undermine the very thing he represents: strength and hope. It's an impossible balance to strike. Being a symbol of hope means carrying an emotional burden that most people can't even imagine. And let's not forget about the constant confrontations with evil. As a Superman, you're never really safe. There's always someone or something out to destroy what you hold dear. Whether it's a vengeful villain, an alien invasion, or even just the world's chaotic unpredictability, you can't afford to rest. You're constantly in a state of combat, mentally, physically, emotionally. Each battle takes a toll, and even though you're invulnerable, the wear and tear on your mind and spirit can be overwhelming. Even if you defeat your enemies today, there will be another one tomorrow. It's a never-ending cycle of conflict, and each battle requires more than just physical strength. It requires your very soul. The trauma and stress from these constant confrontations can break a person down, even someone as powerful as Superman. Let's take a step back for a moment and look at another side of the story: the loneliness. Superman might have a league of fellow superheroes, but at the end of the day, no one can truly understand what he's going through. He's isolated by his own nature. Who can he talk to about the struggles of being a god among men? Who can he trust with his deepest fears? Superman can never truly be normal. He can't have the simple joys that regular people take for granted: friendship, family, love, without fear of putting them in danger. His very existence is a paradox. He's surrounded by people, yet he's completely alone. That emotional isolation is one of the toughest parts of being a Superman, and it's not something he can ever escape. So, when you think about it, being born as a Superman is not the easy, glamorous life it might seem. Sure, you have unimaginable strength and the power to change the world, but with those powers comes an endless series of sacrifices. The weight of protection, the struggle for survival, the emotional toll of guidance, the exhaustion from constant confrontations. These things are not easy to carry. Superman may be invulnerable, but he's not immune to the challenges that come with being a symbol of hope. His resilience isn't just about his physical powers, it's about his ability to keep going despite the overwhelming obstacles he faces. To thrive as Superman, it requires more than just strength. It requires an unshakable will, a deep sense of purpose, and an incredible amount of emotional fortitude. In the end, Superman may save the world time and time again, but it's a lonely, exhausting, and thankless job. So, the next time you think about how great it would be to have superpowers, remember that there's a lot more to being a superhero than meets the eye. And that's why sometimes it really sucks to be born as a Superman.